Creo que tenemos. Es que no tenemos nada, el documento, documento. Bueno, lo vamos a mandar without a recommendation para que entienda the language, ¿ok? Porque Henry está supuesto de traer.
Leo y digo que we still waiting for a recommendation.
No, the language.
The language.
We're still waiting for the language, but we're going to send it out to order a public hearing.
Okay. Okay.
But we're going to send it out to order a public hearing pending the submission of the language by the city attorney.
Baja el micrófono. Okay, we're good to go. Good evening and welcome to the Ordinance Subcommittee. Today is Thursday, August 24, 2017. Welcome all to be here and be part of this wonderful meeting. Members are present as Councilor Modesto Maldonado and Giovanni Rodriguez. What is the minute? Okay. Councilor, can I get a motion to take document 28617 out of order?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 28617 is a local auction prohibiting recreation marijuana and has been put on the agenda by Councilor Maldonado and Councilor De Peña. Councilor Maldonado.
Madam Chair, we are waiting for the language that needs to be submitted by the city attorney
You just had here.
in order to, did you get?
We were waiting for a language.
Let's get, if somebody's here, they want to speak on
If someone want to speak on behalf, this is a good opportunity until we get all the documents together. Does someone from the audio want to speak on the item?
Local prohibition.
The
That's-
local prohibition.
That's the item to prohibit the sale of marijuana locally.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, Council. My name is Mark LaPlante. I'm a City Council. I represent District F. I support this initiative. The individuals, our residents, the people that we represent from the City of Lawrence have spoken out on this already in the ballot last November. We should be able to do this now through local control. We know what the people feel about this issue, and because of that, I think we should be working as quickly as possible to provide for them what they want to see happen with respect to this issue, which is the regulation of selling of marijuana
Yes.
in our city. So I support this. I hope that you will, and I hope that you send up to the full council vote with a favorable recommendation. Thank you.
Is anyone else in the audience that want to speak?
Greetings, council members. My name is Deanna Cruz. I'm the Director of Substance Abuse Prevention and Education with the Lawrence Methuen Community Coalition. I have previously presented material to the whole City Council with evidence that selling recreational marijuana is detrimental to a city, as is evidenced in the state of Colorado, which has made recreational marijuana sale legal several years ago and has published significant data showing that it is detrimental in many cities in Colorado. I previously provided that research, and I'm happy to do so again if you would like. Thank you.
Councilor, any question? Yeah. So Modesto, you can ask the question.
What is that?
He has the language.
Oh, okay. Question?
I don't think they have any question for you. If
Okay.
they will, I'll call you. Do you have the language? Okay. Yeah, we have that language,
Where's that in the?
286.
Hold on a second.
Just give a few minutes, so we just want to revise the language to make sure that we have everything in order.
Okay. Okay, no, this is not the one. This is what was approved July 11. Okay, and the language that we need to use for the city council to approve to exclude ourselves.
Motion to table.
So are we going to table it?
We wait for the documentation.
Well, why don't we move on to another document pending?
That's what he
Okay.
said. Motion
Okay.
to table the
Second.
document until we
Okay.
get that information.
Second motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Let me just go on top of the agenda. Document 4817 is that Devonshire Street closing a portion that has been put on the agenda by Mayor Rivera and Councilor Abdul. I know that we have a resident who want to speak on behalf. If you wish, this is the time.
Thank you, Councilor. Hi. Hello, guys. As a previous, in the last meeting, I spoke
Name
about...
and address for the record.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I apologize. Frederick Diaz, 19 Bailey Street, South Lawrence. As I previously spoke about this issue in Devonshire and Hell Street, these barriers, the blocking the street there, this is causing a lot of issues in the neighborhood. A lot of the neighborhoods were not notified. And then when they block it and put it there, and it's causing issues between two neighbors and fights almost every day. One of them is actually running after another, trying to hit her. Police report is being created about this issue. I mean, they blocked the street. Abdul and the mayor went ahead and blocked the street. And the history of that street with the issues on parking lots, it's been going on for a long time. It's a really narrow street. And then if you guys go and see that, you guys are going to see the monstrosity that was done there. Even the people who pick up the trash in the morning, they can't even go with the truck. They have to carry the trash. It's unbelievable. People that walk their dogs around there, they cannot do it no more. I mean, it was something done with power, and I don't know what else to tell you. And I would really appreciate if you guys take in consideration and take a look at this issue really closely, because it's actually damaging lives, and then it's going to cause something really deep in that street. So that's all that I got to say. Thank you, guys.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So your statement is based on closing a portion of the street?
It's all the way down on the street. It's closed. So they block it between Devonshire and Hale Street, which is a narrow street, and then Maria Lopez parking lot is right on the left, and she can even back up there, and everybody's parking in front of her house, and it's really hard. Like I say, if you guys go there and take a look at this issue, you guys are gonna see that it would never be. I mean, how this can happen. She was not notified. You know, it was a favor done by Councilor Abdu and Mayor Rivera to the person on 24 Hell Street, and you know, we got to do things right, the right way. I'm really worried. I'm representing that district, not representing it, but I'm actually reaching out to people with their needs and help. And I feel really grateful for what I'm doing to people right now, helping out and, you know, reaching a hand. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Right, thank you for your
Councilor
time.
Rodriguez, do you have any questions?
Is Maria Lopez here?
Maria is here?
She's on her way.
Okay.
Hi, Lisa Tatro, and my husband Mark Tatro, 21 Hale Street. I don't know who this person is. He doesn't live in the neighborhood.
No.
I don't know who the person who spoke was that's complaining about the barriers, because I think he said he lived on Hale Street, but I don't recognize him. So our neighbor told us that she was going to complain about the barrier being put in, but I don't see her here tonight. We've spent a lot of time last year coming to every single meeting, and I'm a little angry having to come back here, and she's not even here to speak, that she's complaining. So I don't see what the issue is. We agreed, and we're happy with the result.
What was the original issue? That
Councilor
you guys want-
Rodriguez.
Thank you. What was the original issue that you guys wanted the street blocked up?
Well, it's not wide enough for traffic is the original issue. There's lots of little issues that go around with it.
I'm sorry that we make you come back, but what we're trying to do is to find a resolution, what is going to be better, not only for one, for everybody. And yes, we are waiting for another recommendation. We have more parties involved just to kind of go and measure and make sure that everything is going to go the way it should be.
I thought we already did all this.
Yeah, Officer Scotland did that, and fire department. But we have a city engineer, and we also have a inspection department to get involved this time.
I don't understand why we have to do this again when I came to all the meetings last year, and the person that's complaining is still not here tonight. That doesn't seem quite fair.
Yes, we understand that, but for the prior speaker, he said that she is on her way, and we want to listen both parties. It's not that we are in favor of one side and not the other side. We just want to do it this time like the way it should be, and everybody's going to be satisfied. Yes?
My name is Darlene Woods. I live on Hale Street. I live on 20. My mom lives on 18. She's disabled and couldn't be here. Sorry, this is really hard for me to be here because I'm not supposed to leave her alone. I just feel like this has gotten to be not, I don't know. I don't know if Councilor Rodriguez has seen that they moved the barriers today. They separated them. They pushed them quite a ways down on Devonshire, which Maria, when we were talking about it, that's what she was saying. She was having trouble backing out. So now they moved them quite a ways down, and she's able to turn around. So maybe she will come and talk about that. But we, you know, I've made some sacrifices to come all last year to all of the meetings. I was actually there when one of David Abdu's, I don't know if it was his secretary, but had knocked on Maria's door a few times, had talked to her daughter. I wasn't aware that no one had been notified. There were lots and lots of people here.
Speak to the
Speak
mic.
closer? Oh, I'm so sorry. For me, I see far less traffic. There used to be a lot of drug dealing on Devonshire. I'm sure that the police department will tell you. I know that one of the residents has video footage of that. And for me, I just want to keep our neighborhood safe. I don't want this to be a problem for anybody, but I think it's important to, I know that there's been far less cars speeding through there. There's been less drug deals because there's no way for them to easily get away with that barrier there. So, I mean, I think that's important, and I think, you know, you should consider that as well. Thank you.
Okay, Councilor, any question?
Motion to table, Maria?
Second.
Oh,
I
hold on.
can't talk. I'm from Hale Street as well.
Yeah, yes.
I live on Hale Street. I'm at the corner where there's an issue.
Just speak to the mic.
I'm at the
and-
corner where there is that issue between Maria and myself because we're both at that corner. And the problem is, that's fine. The problem is that you can't make that turn. My property is getting completely destroyed because when it was a two-way traffic zone and then they made it a one-way, nobody was abiding by the one-way. Commercial trucks cannot make that corner. They are completely ruining my property over that. So we had, like everyone said, plenty of meetings to try to figure out a solution for this. In that, we figured out the solution to make it a dead end. They weren't properly done. The DPW had to make adjustments on it, which they did, and they pushed them back today. I have pictures that I've printed, if you'd like to see them. The problem is the neighbor is putting cones across the driveway so nobody can pull in the driveway for a turnaround if there needs to be. So that's a major issue as well. And I have pictures to go along with it.
Okay, is Maria here?
Yeah, we're here.
Yep, okay.
Withdraw my motion.
Yeah, we didn't call the motion. No, la segunda.
Hi, I'm her daughter. I'm Maria. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
to the
oh yeah,
mic.
no problem. So as far as the cones that
Just name and address for the record.
Maria Nicole, 25 Hale Street is where
Okay.
we live. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as the cones that she described that we have blocking our driveway,
Just speak to the mic, yes.
as far as the cones that are blocking our driveway, we are not the only ones who have the cones. Other neighbors have also decided to put cones in front of their driveways so that people can't turn around in their parking lot. And that's understandable. I mean, my mother has land, she has plants, she has flowers that every time a taxi does a U-turn in our driveway, they run over the grass. That's upkeeping that costs us money. So obviously, we decided to put cones to block that. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
There's something wrong, or I got the right to do it? It's
No,
my
that's your property,
right?
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, so that's irrelevant as far as that goes. As far as the barriers that were put up, we have no issues with the barriers. It's the way that the barriers were put. They don't look appropriate. They were just kind of put there from one day to another. It's not like much thought went into, let's do this in an appropriate way. If we're going to turn a street that was never a dead end into a dead end, then let's go about it the right way. That's our issue. The other thing is, it's put right there, so our driveway is right here, the barriers are right here. I mean, when the plows come in the winter, where are they going to put the snow? It's going to be pushed all the way towards our dead end of the street, block our driveway so that we can't get out. And it's not only an issue for us, it's an issue for the garbage man who has a hard time getting through the street because the street is now so small that he can't do anything. We've seen him get off of his truck to have to physically lift the garbage because the truck he can't turn around to use the truck the way that it was supposed to be used because the way that the street is now. I mean, there's an elderly couple that lives on Devonshire Road that if anything happens and an ambulance and a fire department needs to come, there's only one way to get into the street instead of both ways, and that can become an issue. It's just kind of like, there's a lot of things that, were they even considered when the barriers were just slapped there, or was it just the fact that it was ruining one person's property, and so that's why they put the barriers there?
Also, it's an environment concern because I spoke with a couple of the neighbors that they were on previous meeting, and they said supposedly that the snow is not going to be pushed from Beacon Street all the way to the end of here. It's going to be
Picked up and pushed into the pond.
there is a
Right.
pond, and okay, they're going to throw the snow
Into
inside the pond.
I mean, we were not informed of any of the other meetings, and we weren't informed of the barriers. We don't know how the information was discussed, that they discussed when they were going to put the barriers there.
And when that was
But
delivered.
apparently, every neighbor, according to every neighbor on our street that we went and spoke to, they said that, well, there was two different forms of information. There were pamphlets that were given door by door that we failed to receive for whatever reason. They just didn't put it on our door. And then there was, what was the lady's name? Eileen, that I guess
was
she
a
works,
previous
she
councilor.
works for the city council, that she came door by door and physically told everyone that the barriers were gonna be put there. So if those two things happened, we were not informed. And I guess the issue with the frustration is that why are things happening that are affecting us, but we're not informed. And of course, none of the other neighbors are really affected by it, because if you think about it, our house is at the end of the street. No other parking is blocked, no other, it's not affecting anybody else the way it's affecting 24 and 25 Hale Street. So of course, nobody has any issues. That's why they're not here. I mean.
Councilor, do you have any question for
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Councilor Maldonado?
Maria, how many properties do you say are being affected by the dead end?
I would say mine, and we concerned about the elderly that live in the child. Devonshire street. I guess the only is me and my across the street neighbor.
I would
Now
say maybe
you're-
3 people are being affected by
Okay,
this.
you are indicating that, I'm trying to understand because I'm listening, but I don't see it visually. When somebody comes to the end and they want to make a U-turn because they cannot go forward, we are saying that because of the narrowness of the street, people are going, the vehicles are going into your lawn, into your property? Is that what you are saying?
Right, like in order for you to do a U-turn, you would have to go into either our lawn or our driveway. And that's usually what happens. Before the cones were there, before the street was not a dead end, and people used to do U-turns,
They went around.
they were going into our lawn. You would see the tires of cabs and trucks or whoever was doing the U-turn all in the grass. We have sprinkler systems that we have put into the lawn that have broken because people are doing U-turns into our grass and ruining our property. So it's like, of course we're gonna put cones to stop that, because we don't wanna continue to lose money.
And the cone we had been using before this situation with the dead end. So I had the cone for a few years, avoiding the cop and other people that didn't know that the street continued, that they used to U-turn on my driveway.
The con, who placed the con?
Right, we
Who
place them.
placed them? You placed them?
We place them physically, yes.
So that they won't get on your lawn?
Right.
And how is that working out?
It's working
It
out.
has worked out.
Working
People
out?
don't know- Yeah.
So as long as the con are there, you have no problem? Am I correct?
We have no problem with people doing the U-turns, but
We still had the concern about what's going to happen during winter when the snow is being pushed from the Beacon Street to the end of the hill. Either before the barrier was there, sometimes we have to ask the snow removal guy if he could please push a little bit back, because when I try to reverse on the driveway, I can't. So
like even before the street was closed, this is an issue that we've been experiencing. Now it's just gonna be an issue that.
We have to bring it here.
We're just gonna be dealing with regardless, like it's not gonna get any better.
Okay.
Okay, Councilor Rodriguez?
They moved the barrier today. They put it,
They pushed them on Devonshire Road, a
Yeah.
little further back.
no problem with that. That way, if it's necessary to close the street, I don't mind what is now. So I was so happy that was moved there. And I think the people still have the opportunity, if they want to reverse and just U-turn, they will do it. Because I'm not against to close the street. I don't care, I don't mind. Especially because there's a lot of kids there, and they like to play on the street basketball. And in the past, it's true that a lot of speed, people go fast. And it's not that I don't want the barrier there. It was the ones that was placed there. I had to think about my benefit or you know? And I said, no, this way can be. I'm not gonna be able to get out of the driveway. I saw they move it today. It's fine with me. No problem. But there is the environmental issue, where they're gonna put the snow? Inside the pond?
Councilor Rodriguez, you have, yeah.
Nobody's against the fence. Nobody's against the barrier then now.
Wait, what?
Nobody's against the barrier. And
I'm not really, I don't think anybody's
why not?
against the barriers. I think for me, the major thing is, first of all, it just looks like, is that the way that they're gonna do it? Like, that's the most realistic way that we can close the street down, by putting those barriers there. There's no other way that the city can go about making it look.
Honestly, I don't understand the need for the barrier. I don't care if they keep it, because that way it's not gonna affect me. I have 14 years living in that house, that actually I built the house, and I haven't seen no drug situation around there, so I haven't seen any drug activity in that area. So I will
Oh,
say that I don't know what is the need
because-
for the.
because what we're discussing tonight is whether or not we should have the barrier blocking off the street.
Right.
So nobody's against the barrier, and the barrier is already in place. We have no discussion tonight then.
Like I said, the barrier was pushed down this afternoon.
So you guys are thinking about the winter, and you guys are gonna be fine when the winter comes, and the delivery people comes and all that stuff?
Yeah.
So
I just wanna, I mean, from my understanding,
you
because.
guys want the barrier or don't want the barrier?
What?
You guys want the barriers or don't want the barriers?
Honestly, me personally, I don't think that there is any reason for those barriers to be there. And why I came here today is because I kind of want to understand why they were put in place.
Maria, do you have any problems with the barriers? Do you want the barriers to be removed? Because otherwise we're not gonna,
It's no,
If it can be removed, will be perfect. It would be great.
Is there
So
any-
we can continue going around to Adams Street.
I just want to understand why they were put in. Like,
It
what
will be
was,
benefit for the mailman, it's gonna be benefit for the trash truck. So I see
I
that.
see it benefiting more people than it is now. I mean, I don't understand what,
The barrier do
Why
do
were
not
they put in
benefit me
place?
at all, so I don't have to be agreed with.
okay,
let's
so
continue with the removal.
just continue with the removal, but we are still waiting for a recommendation, that's why,
Let's send correspondence to the city engineer and to the planning department.
so we just
Madam
gonna,
Chair.
yes, Councilor Modesto.
What I see, Maria, is that your concern is basically that when people come on that street thinking that they can go through, and they find that there's a barrier there, they make a U-turn, and when they try to make a U-turn because the street is narrow, they get either, they have to do it on your driveway, or they may have to step on the grass.
Go all of the way
And
reverse.
what I'm also hearing is that in the winter, when the snow truck or the plow is going to push the snow against the barrier, you may have a problem of the snow blocking your driveway.
exactly.
Those are your biggest concern.
Yeah, and also it's a safety issue. There is, like I mentioned before, there is a lot of kids that they play on the street. Imagine a truck or a car reverse for a long block, because
No, I understand that, I understand that. We need to, it seems to me, Madam Chair, that
Yes.
what we need to do is to get Officer Scanlon, and I believe
already-
that we already
He's
asked
just
him
gonna,
to
he's
give
No,
us a
he said-
recommendation.
we have an engineer in place.
No,
Engineering?
yeah,
Because
the
we need
recommendation.
measurements,
Yeah.
not letters.
Yep, so remember, Councilor Modesto, that has been approved last year.
It was approved May 2nd, 2017.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
6 months ago.
So,
Actually,
so we can,
But it was
so
put in
we are
agreement.
waiting for a recommendation from the city engineer and the inspectional department. That's what we're waiting to hear. They're gonna be involved in this, just to make sure that everybody's gonna be on board.
you know, one thing that can, obviously to avoid people making U-turns there, signs can be placed saying no throughway, okay? But the snow situation, I don't know how we're gonna resolve that.
It's moved, the barriers are moved. I have a picture on my
You have
phone.
to, no.
The barriers are what?
They moved those barriers and they pushed them way down Devonshire, so there's plenty of room for snow removal.
So you need to speak in the mic and,
Come to the microphone.
The thing is, we approved those barriers in one specific locations on the ordinance.
So they moved the
Now they
barriers
move
today,
it.
the
Why are they in the
DPW.
ordinance?
They moved those barriers today and pushed them way down Hale Street. Way down Devonshire Street. So there's plenty of room when they plow Hale Street to bring it around to Devonshire to leave the snow there.
Yes.
Since it's a dead end over there. I have a picture of that if you'd like to see that as well. Those
Okay.
are previous pictures before they moved them today.
According to this picture, these are your pictures?
Yep.
According to this picture here, let me see which one it is. Where is it? Hold on a second. Oh, this one here. According to this picture, it seems that there is approximately about 10 feet from the driveway to the barrier.
No, that barrier was just so nobody would go in.
you need to speak in the mic, I'm sorry.
That barrier was so nobody would go into the pond because the pond's right there. And then the corner is pushed back a little bit more. I actually have those pictures too, if you'd like to see them on my phone.
We're gonna be pushing snow onto the pond.
When I ask you, all of you, to speak on the mic, is because we are recording this meeting, and we want to make sure that everybody's clear. It doesn't matter if it's them or it's you. Please, when you are going to speak, get close to the mic that we can get the full message. So I think what we're going to do is, like I told you, beginning of the meeting when they were present, that we are going to table it until we get the.
Let's get recommendations and correspondence to the city engineer. That way she
Yes,
can-
we're going to table, and we're going to send correspond to the city engineer for a second opinion. From there, you all going to be aware, or let you know when this is going to happen, and you can come back with a recommendation. But you both needs to be here. Okay?
I would like to
Will or
make a
will not?
motion.
We will or will not need to be
You
here.
will,
Okay?
Yep.
The meetings are gonna be open for everybody,
yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
So it's not closed meetings here. It's open to the public, everybody's is welcome, everybody's gonna be discussing the issue.
Can I ask the counselors a question? When we were up here a few weeks, actually a couple months ago,
Yeah.
and my husband was the one that actually spoke, and he invited you guys all out to go see the two properties and everything. Did anybody go check that out, or is this all just, are we just kind of going by what we're hearing? Did any of the counselors go to that property at all?
Well, I passed by, I drove by once.
So you saw where the
I
barriers
saw the
were?
situation, but we were waiting for 4 different departments, for recommendation from 4 different departments. We get 2 recommendations for 2 different departments. And based on that, things were moved in a rush, I will say.
Okay.
But I would like to make a
You should
motion
probably talk to the
to,
city engineer too, because I know the city engineer and city attorney, because they know about it and the illegal
Yeah. No,
road that the corner.
Okay, so.
I would like to make a motion to send correspondence to the city engineer with the specific questions. The current width of the street, the current location of the barrier in relation to the driveway of 25 Hale Street,
And 24.
possible location of a snow once starts snowing, and possible means and method of how the snow is going to be removed from that street. I would like also get an opinion or yes or no question whether or not the garbage truck have enough access to the street when we have cars on both sides.
Okay.
So you get the questions? Whether or not the garbage truck have enough space to go through and do whatever they need to do when there is cars on both sides. Park. All right?
Okay, so the
Thank you so
motion
much.
has been made with all the recommendation. Can I hear a second?
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. We table the document, right? Yep. Thank you all for being here. So ya lo table.
Motion to table?
Motion table, document 4817.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Maria,
Yeah,
we're
you
going to
can-
wait for recommendation from the city engineer to see what is happening. They may get in touch with you. Okay?
One question, the city engineer is going to be the same one that has been dealing with the
Have
situation?
you been dealing with
They will get in
an
touch
engineer
with
that is
you
a
in order
female?
to ascertain what the problem is. I know that the issue of turning around, the U-turn can be corrected by putting simply a dead end, a dead end sign, not a true way. But the situation with the snow, we need to find out more about the snow situation, on how that's going to be addressed, and that's why Councilor Rodriguez is requesting specific answers to those questions.
It sounds fair for me.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
What are we looking for, Cassandra? Is a letter I saw a,
The letter from Maria?
no, it was it's a paper that was.
Oh, there's a letter that you,
Yeah, from a different neighbor, wrote a letter.
when did you forward?
Oh,
With the
what are
pictures?
From the pictures, so.
Maldonado, you took the picture.
No, she had the pictures.
No, you have it here.
Oh, that's the letter? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's see.
Yeah, I think that is.
Okay,
Yeah.
we will keep this with the pictures.
No, she's gonna
She-
take
you-
it.
she wants
it. Okay.
And she needs all the need.
You want this letter back?
Yes. she needs
Should we
that.
make a copy? Let's make a copy,
Okay.
so we can give it to
So
the
are we
city
ready for
engineer.
document 286 now? Mm-hmm. Can I get a motion to take document 286 out of the table?
So move.
Second,
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay, so we're gonna continue with the document.
Madam Chair, we have the language, and I'm going to read it for those people who are
Please.
present here.
Yeah?
The operation of all types of marijuana establishments as defined in General Laws, Chapter 94G, Section 1, including marijuana cultivators, marijuana testing facilities, marijuana product manufacturers, marijuana retailers, marijuana dispensaries, marijuana laboratories, or any other type of licensed marijuana-related business is prohibited within the city of Lawrence. So this is a language that was prepared by the city attorney, and this is a language that we need to send up to the full council.
Yes.
So that we can order a public hearing.
So the motion is to send it with favorable recommendation to order public hearings.
Yes.
Motion has been made, properly second. All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you all for being here.
Eso es lo mismo.
Let me give up.
So, motion to reset? What is he going?
Maldonado, perdimos el quórum.
Está bien. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Giovanni. Okay, we have another document that I would like to take out of order, which is, document 28217 is, can I get a motion to take document 28217
So move.
out of order?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 28217 is a Lawrence Civil War Memorial War. Request to use the Company Common for their 15th annual Civil War weekends from Friday, September 15, Saturday, September 16, and Sunday, September 17, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and has been put in the agenda by Elizabeth Charlton. Good evening.
My name is Larry West. I'm the current president of Lawrence Civil War Memorial Guard. And if you're looking for Elizabeth, she's in Rochester, New York. She took her son to back to college in Rochester. But good evening, councilors. As you said,
Yeah.
our organization, the Lawrence Civil War Memorial Guards, based in Lawrence, 506 Lowell Street. And it's a nonprofit 501c3. And our motto is education, preservation, and remembrance of Civil War history in Lawrence. Now, we're requesting permission to hold our 15th annual Civil War weekend on the Campagnon Common. As you said, Friday evening on the 15th through Sunday evening, the 17th of September. We're sponsored by the Lawrence Cultural Council, by the mayor, as well as ourselves. And as you know, the event is free to the public. All the activities are free. And all permits have been obtained for the event. I think that Cassandra handed you a list of the activities for the weekend. I'm not sure.
Yes,
we
thank you.
have it.
Yes, she did. She
All right.
did.
So
And so,
if you'd like me to
Madam
go
Chair?
through them, Friday night, pretty much the soldier reenactors would be infantry and artillery would begin setting up an encampment tents on the common. And some others will come very early on Saturday morning as well. And the activities listed on the flyer, it's really a camp life, living history demonstration. We have dress parade, raising the colors, and we have the artillery. There's 2 artillery groups. They will be firing the cannon on the hour, except for the first one at 9:30. During the day on Saturday, Civil War exhibits. There's also a lecture or presentation called Rally for the Union, Lawrence in the Civil War, being given at 11 a.m. And that's really myself and one of our board members, Dan Gagnon, who's standing beside me. We were fortunate enough to have the White Fund invite us to give this lecture last November, which was very well received. So we'll be repeating that on Saturday. In the afternoon, there's a children's muster with all the kids. I mean, in the past, the ages of participation, I mean, they've gone from 3-year-old kids up to teenagers. And what we do is we just have wooden muskets and we kind of drill them a little bit on what camp life might have been like back in the 1860s. And later on in the afternoon, there'll be again a dress parade. We'll lower the colors. And in the evening, oh, by the way, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Trails and Sails in Essex County, if you're familiar with it. It's their 16th annual. It's our 15th, so we're a year behind them. But some of our events, like the tour of the Bellevue Cemetery on Friday evening, that's a Trails and Sails event. The Children's Muster is as well. And then also there's a tour, Crime and Urban Legends of Lawrence. That's a Trails and Sails event. And that is in the evening and is given by our recording secretary, Joe Beller. I'm sure some people are very familiar with Joe. And there's a movie presentation on the Common at 9 o'clock. And again, on Sunday, the living history demonstrations continue. We'll raise the colors, have a dress parade, City Hall exhibits that will open at 10 a.m. There's Civil War music as well. We have a hard tax group. And, but the cannon fire doesn't begin on Sunday until 12 noon. And then there's, again, some activities in the afternoon, children's activities. Teacup auction at 3 p.m. Lower the colors at 3:30, strike the tents at 4. The event closes. We leave the Common just like we found it before we got there on
Through you, Madam
Friday
Chair.
evening.
Thank you, Councilor Rodriguez.
Motion to send it to the full council with a fair recommendation and the paper look in order.
Second, just with a statement. I have come on several occasions to your
Thank you.
display, and I think it's a fantastic display of our Civil War history. I know that I have seen kids enjoy it really,
Yeah.
really, and the parents also. I really congratulate you for such a wonderful display of what actually happened during the Civil War in our country. So I really thank you for what you guys are doing. I think it's very educational. Thank you.
Thank you, and motion
thank you.
has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
You also need to come back for our next city council meeting, which is going to be
September 5th.
September
5th.
5th. Okay, September 5th at 7. Thank you. Okay, Councilor.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to take document 28517 out of...
That was the one that I was going to go now.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I get a motion to take document 28517 out of order?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 28517 is a resident sticker parking Park Street between Jackson and Berkeley Street. Request to remove has been put in the agenda by Hugo Guzman. I know both parties are here. I know you both want to have opportunity to speak this time. Hugo?
Muy buenas tardes.
Good afternoon, good night.
Good evening.
Mi nombre es Hugo Guzmán y estoy ubicado en 245 de la Jackson.
My name is Hugo
Street.
Guzman, and I live in 245 Jackson Street.
Yeah. Estoy aquí para ver qué solución le buscamos a Resident Park que hay en la park.
So we're here because we want a solution for Park Street parking.
Mi casa está en el 245. En el frente yo no puedo parquearme porque pertenece al highway. Una casa que tiene condiciones para parqueo. Entonces,
Wait. So I live on the corner of 245 Jackson Street, where in front of our house we can park because it's a highway site that we are not allowed to park.
entonces quiero que quiten Resident Park porque no tengo donde parquearme. A mi casa no puede ir visita, no pueden, tenemos negocio desde el Care, nadie puede parquearse porque en el frente no podemos parquearnos. Y la única parte que no podemos parquear ahí es en la park. Mi casa ocupa más de un 30% de la park,
Okay.
de la acera de la park, de una acera de la park.
So long. But so since we don't are not allowed to park on Jackson Street, so like the most or 30% of our house is on Park Street. So we are not allowed to park on Park Street. So since we are not allowed to park anywhere now for almost 2 years, so we are here because we want, like, even though resident parking can be like, you guys can take it out or give us like opportunity to park there too.
Entonces, queremos ver qué solución le buscan a esto porque me siento acorralado.
So we want to see like what solution you guys can make or something, because you feel like correlated. Because
Ya tenemos unos 2 años buscando la solución a esto y no se ha podido. Esperando en Dios que ustedes puedan resolvernos.
so we're waiting on God that you guys can solve this problem, because we don't want any fight. We don't want any like distortion with our neighbors. We want peace. We want this to be solved, because I know our neighbors asked for this resident parking, but we weren't like noticed about it. We didn't know. Like, we got tons of tickets of it, and we didn't know about it. So I know we have been discussed more than twice here. So we just want to see like where we can find the solution today.
Nosotros tenemos en esa vivienda unos 5 años. Yo soy landlord de la casa.
So I've been there for 5 years. I'm the landlord of the house.
Y yo no voy a vender mi casa ni me voy a ir de aquí porque no hay una solución. Yo voy a luchar hasta que yo tenga vida con este problema, porque me siento con derecho. ¿Tú ves?
So I feel with, so he said that he doesn't want to sell the house, or he doesn't want to like move out because of this problem. He want to fight for it, so till he got a solution.
Por la par es que están los garajes de mi casa.
So for Park Street is where the garages are, like the doors.
Y he puesto hasta cámara en mi casa porque me ha sentido hasta amenazado.
So I also put cameras on it because he feels that something could happen to him. Well, that's what we feel about this problem.
Speak to us, speaks
Oh,
to us.
yeah.
Counselor, before we ask the other party comes, if you would like to ask any question, because after they done, we're gonna give it opportunity and we're gonna decide what we're gonna do with the documents. We're not gonna be back and forth speaking about what documents that we all are aware of the situations.
So
The only reason I'm doing this is because I believe that everybody has the right to fight for what they believe. There's no favor to one side or the other side. If you want something else that you want to add into this item, this is your opportunity.
Ok. Nosotros queremos que quiten los Resident Park o que nos den parqueo para más o menos 4 carros o 3. E incluso de aquí fueron los ingenieros.
So we want, so you guys can remove the resident parking, or we can have at least 3 or 4 parking spaces.
De aquí fueron ingenieros a medir la calle.
There were engineers that went to see the street.
Y le trajeron la medida a ustedes, supuestamente.
So they bring the measurements of the street, so.
Okay.
Council-
Y entonces, nadie que pueda ir a mi casa puede parquearse ahí, porque de una vez le llaman a la policía y le ponen un ticket.
So like nobody like that goes to our house like to visit, nobody can parks there, or even us, like even though like they know, or the neighbors know, or cars, they even though like if they see our cars there parked, they just call the parking control and they give us a ticket right away.
Entonces ellos sí pueden, todos ellos pueden hacer su party, todo el mundo que ellos quieren pueden parquearse ahí, pero mi carro, de que van a mi casa, de que se paran ahí es un ticket que les tiran.
So they can do party and stuff, and they visit, they can park there, and they don't call no one to put the ticket. So even though like if they know our cars, because we never, so you know whose cars it is, you know? So even though like if we park just for 5 minutes, they just call the parking people.
Y le vamos a recordar a los vecinos y a todo el que esté aquí.
Sí, hablen con nosotros.
Ah, bueno.
Speak to us.
Sí, le vamos a recordar que este es un país,
That is a country.
que este es un país libres y nosotros no vamos a vivir con presión, mucho menos cuando pagamos impuestos, vivamos decentemente en nuestra casa.
Okay.
So this is a country that is free for everybody, and they don't want to live with pressure of the situation going on.
Okay. Counselor, do you have any question for?
I have a question.
Okay, Counselor Maldonado.
Hugo, you mentioned that you want parking for your visitors. Can you translate that, please?
So tú dices que tú quieres parking para la visita que tú tengas.
Claro.
No, just for our house. But I know that
But he mentioned that he's looking for parking for people who are visiting him.
He didn't say that.
tú quieres que él te pregunta que si tú quieres parqueo también para.
Am I correct?
Sí.
¿Estoy correcto?
What he said.
Hold on.
Que si te pregunta que si tú quieres que quiten el resident parking o si tú quieres también que le den resident, o sea, permiso para la visita tuya.
¿Usted está pidiendo parqueo para la casa o parqueo para su visitante?
Para la casa.
Para la casa mía,
eso es la
porque yo
pregunta
soy que vivo ahí.
Pero espérate.
Have the table, please.
Ok, Councilor
confunda.
Maldonado.
The table.
No lo confunda.
No, I'm not confusing
Okay,
anybody, so
Councilor
please
Maldonado.
give me the respect to ask the questions. So again, my question is, you're asking for 4 spaces.
So, tú estás preguntando por 4 espacios.
Are part of those spaces for visitors?
Que me den 4 parqueos o que quiten el Resident Park.
No, no,
Or we
I'm
just-
trying to understand, I'm
So te
trying
quiere
to
tratar de
understand.
preguntarte qué es.
And again, I'm sorry that I cannot speak in Spanish, so that, lo siento que no puedo hablar en español porque la reunión
not
tiene que
allowed.
conducirse en inglés. Por eso estamos tratando de, pero, my question is, okay, are any of those 4 parking spaces for visitors?
So, ¿esos 4 parqueos son para visitantes o para ti?
Para mí y para la visita que hagan a mi casa, porque a mi casa van y
Okay, so I am,
So-
so again, you are stating that you want parking space for people who come and visit your house. Am I correct?
Can you read that paragraph?
Okay, I think the question is, I think we are going around, and the question that Councilor Maldonado want to ask, if you don't need space for you, for your tenants to be parking, that you are more concerning about your visitors.
So, tú estás-
Is that what you're looking for? What are you looking for?
So, tú estás buscando que hagan parqueo para ti, para tu casa y lo que viene en la residencia de tu parque, o para la gente que viene para afuera. ¿Tú lo quieres para la gente que viene para afuera o para ti?
para mí.
So, we want for us,
People that live there.
the people that live there.
So, Councilor Maldonado, I'm just trying to translate the question, yeah, to make sure that.
I want to add something.
um,
I know that you guys already measured the street, and we are asking just for a space so we can park. We don't like, pushing this stuff like to be just for parking. You know, I think you guys already know, like, how much cars can be parked on Park Street. I know you said the last time when we were here that you guys gonna measure the street, and then you're gonna see how many cars, 4 houses, can be parked, or
Okay, in the worst case scenario, if we decided to remove it, which is, that is what we have in this discussion, and this is going to be first come, first service. If you don't have enough space to be parking 4 cars, what are you going to be parking your tenants?
so let me translate that.
Yes.
So, can you guys tell me out if I'm not translating
Yeah,
right?
yes.
So, que ellos dicen, si no tenemos espacio para los 4, por ejemplo, si nosotros queremos 4 partes para parquearnos en la Park Street, y
Y alguien llega primero y se parquea,
si alguien llega primero,
ustedes no tienen espacio para parquear 4 carros, ¿dónde se van a parquear?
Donde nos estamos ubicando ahora, lejos de ahí, porque no hay espacio donde no parquearse ahí.
so there's no space, so we have to park far away for it.
Porque si no hay espacio, si cuando uno llega está ocupado, bueno, pues ya está ocupado. Pero no porque no tenga limitaciones.
Okay, I do have another question since that I know this situation for a long time. I've been passing the street many different times.
So ella pasó
During the
varias veces
day,
por la-
9 times,
por la-
Councilor
por la Park
Rodriguez has been coming with me multiple times.
So hemos ido más de varias veces a ver
And
la
we've been
calle.
seeing like, yes, it's a space to be parking,
So,
right,
ellos
Councilor
espacio para que
Rodriguez?
ustedes se parquen.
That was the reason that we asked for recommendation to measure
So, por eso fue que
how
nosotros
many
dijimos
cars we can fit into that street.
que chequeara la calle
So what do you have to say about
¿Qué tú quieres decir sobre
spaces at nighttime? Is always full or is always a space
la calle
available?
siempre hay espacio para parquearte o no hay espacio para parquearte?
Siempre hay espacio para parquearse.
There's a space to park.
Even in the winter time?
Sí, hasta en el invierno.
Sí, hasta en el invierno. Incluso en invierno esa calle la restringen por la nieve.
Right.
En el tiempo de invierno la restringen.
But the thing is, I know our neighbors have been concerned about this because people from Jackson Street, the building on Jackson, the big buildings on the left, there have been people parking there too. I know they're very concerned about that. But now that is the resident parking available like that, there's still space now that there are no park there, at least us, because we are part of it, of the Park Street. So if in the past, there weren't like a space for them, that's why they asked for it.
Through you, Madam Chair.
Yes, Councilor Rodriguez.
So the question is the following. Do you believe that if we remove
Si nosotros quitamos resident parking,
the resident parking from the area, the people from the building across the street from your house is going to be taking advantage of that and not allow you guys to park, and nobody will be able to park? Do you see that problem coming?
Yes. So, ¿tú crees que quitando el resident parking, las personas del building que está en la esquina van a tomar ventaja de eso y se van a querer parquear aquí? No. So, yes. Well,
Yes, no. Which one?
No, ellos no se van a parquear allá, porque nosotros realmente necesitamos, si no tengamos que parquear 2 calles y 3, ellas que tienen vehículos, que son mis hijas, y tengo 3.
No, esa no es la pregunta.
Sí.
Esa no es la pregunta. The question is the following. I'm going to repeat it again. If we remove the resident parking sticker requirement from that specific street,
si la quitamos resident
everybody that live in the neighbor going to be able to park. So that can become a problem as well.
So the thing is, we want to be part of the parking space.
So, okay, now, you guys are not against the residency parking requirements. You just want to be part of it. Am I correct?
Exactly. If it's not a solution.
Can you explain to them?
Bueno, si ellos quitan el resident parking, ellos dicen, si quitan el resident parking, va a venir otra vez y la gente va a ver el mismo problema que había antes, que no va a haber espacio para quitar. So, ¿tú quieres que lo quiten el resident parking o tú estar parte de ahí, de ese resident parking?
Bueno, que lo quiten. Si no se puede quitar el resident park, que me den espacio para 4 carros. Es lo único que estoy pidiendo.
Realmente que lo quiten.
Está bien, pero si no se puede quitar, pero espérate.
Pero mami.
Espérate. Si no se puede quitar, lo que hay que buscar es una solución a esto. Porque es que yo vivo ahí, no me voy a mudar de ahí por nada.
No,
My
question is the following.
Yeah.
So, it's removed.
Yeah.
Resident parking is removed.
Yeah.
Now, everybody from the building across the street is going to be parking there. You guys not going to be able to park either.
So, si lo quitan, resident...
Es lo justo, exactamente. Que lo quiten rotundamente, que lo quiten. Que llegó primero, que se estacione.
That was my question. That was my question. Like, okay, Councilor,
Es lo justo.
okay, so, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Edwin Candelario. I live at 12 Park Street.
We're going to have everyone to introduce themselves. First of all, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Carlos Candelario, 10 Park Street, Lawrence, Mass.
Good evening. Rosalinda Candelario Yan, 12 Park Street.
Edwin Aponte, 6 Park Street.
Carlos Candelario Jr., 10 Park Street.
And hi, I'm Gloria Candelario. I live at 12 Park Street, and I want to say thank you very much for taking the time to listen to us. Honestly, first of all, I think we have been going, like you have said, Mr. Reyes, we have been going around in circles on this already. I think that the city of Lawrence has more important issues to deal out there than to do with everything about parking. First of all, our neighbors, I really don't understand where they're coming from about the parties. And the reason I'm saying this, because they have mentioned it. So first of all, I don't know what they're talking about parties. Second of all, We're not telling them to move out. We don't tell anyone to move anywhere. We know we live in the United States. Everybody has the rights and all that. But the reason we're here, because we know we have the rights also, we have done our process, our paperwork. We have done the process that's supposed to be done correctly, and that's what we have done. Also, what I want to make sure that I let you guys know is I have submitted to every city council, and I'm going to be honest, not only you guys, but also to the mayor's office, the state representative, Juana, also to Manny, her secretary. I have also ended up seeking for some type of help because I think this has gotten out of hand completely. Also, we have submitted to you guys that on Chapter 10.40, Residential Sticker Parking Program. And it states, right over here, 10.40.010, eligibility. It says, any vehicle used for pleasure only, owned by a resident of Lawrence, registered under the general law of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, in principle, garaged in the city of one of the streets, restricted to residence parking, should be eligible for a residence parking stickers issued. By this chapter, a vehicle must be registered in Massachusetts, principally garaged and insured in, and pay excise tax to the city. In addition to the above requirements, the operator/owner must have a valid Massachusetts operator license indicating the same address as vehicle registration. That's the first thing. I just wanted to bring it up to you guys. The second thing I wanted to bring it up is this. The second thing I wanted to bring up is on June 7th, we received notification about the meeting that was going to take place, the ordinance, and that was for June 15 and everything else. We were happy. Okay, we received it. Today's meeting, none of us in our neighborhood on Park Street received any notification at all. And I know one way or another, there has been a policy or a law broken here, because they know, you guys know very well, we've been, complaining, not so much complaining, but fighting about this issue and trying to take care of this issue. Also, if we notice, the agenda here, they put down new business. They gave Hugo, and I'm sorry that I turned my face, they gave him a new number, 28517. However, that number I should not have given it to him because our number before was 18917.
Point of information.
Okay, hold on, no, let me finish.
Yeah, but let me just explain something. I don't want you to start going on and we get confused. Why we have a different documents? Because the first one that you got was resident parking only at 810 Park Street.
Okay.
This one is to remove, which should happen before we approve resident parking one spot.
Okay.
That is why
All right.
we have to.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay.
So, I respect that, but how come we didn't receive notice? We should have had the rights to be the one to decide if we were gonna show up for the meeting or no show up for the meeting. You guys, whoever submitted or whoever is supposed to give the secretary permission, have never done that, and that is wrong. I know very well by law that it's
Through
wrong.
you, Madam Chair.
Now,
Through you,
excuse me?
Madam Chair.
Councilor Rodriguez.
The agenda was published for 48 hours. On the
Published where?
Since last week, the agenda was published, and then on the website here on the city city hall, and every other locations that it usually published.
I'm
So
glad
it
that
was-
this is recorded because
Excuse me.
God
Let me-
only
let me
knows
fin-
how many people don't know that.
Sir,
Nobody knew that. I'm
let me
sorry, I
finish, please.
apologize.
Tell her.
No, continue, go.
Thank
Go.
you so much.
I apologize, you can continue.
She's apologizing, and she said she's going to give the word, so why?
So the agenda was published since last week when we sent the new and every items to every committee, housing committee, the ordinance committee, and the other committee that just happened yesterday. Every agenda was published last week, so this was not any difference. You can continue.
And another, I think is also important,
Yes.
when you first originally placed this item in the agenda, they weren't notified either. They didn't know that that was going on.
Because they lived in 245 Jackson
Yes,
Street.
yeah,
That's how come.
we understand, but this time, last time, with the document 189 or 85, you both were notified to be here, right?
Correct.
Because I put it in the agenda myself, right? This time, he did it. We have to notify him.
Yeah.
That doesn't take it away that if you want to be present, yes.
So then, it's okay that again, last time, because we didn't notify them, because they wasn't here, it was okay.
We weren't aware of
But we was aware that we're supposed to have done that. Because honestly, if we were aware, we would have been more than happy because there's nothing we have to hide. First of all, we didn't know that. I think the city council should come up with some other type of thinking outside the box to really help out the citizens of Lawrence, because a lot of the citizens of Lawrence are going through a lot of hectic about let it be parking, let it be other issues, and this will help them out to be more prepared, before they come over here. The other thing is, we know very well also that you guys, the last meeting we were here, it was asked about, you guys wanted to make sure about the engineering, the police officer to check the measurement and all that. That has taken place, yes. I have even spoken myself to Milagros and everything. Very nice person and all that. On her first email that she had submitted, she placed down that 8 cars, 8 vehicles were able to fit there. When I came down in person, and I explained to her, you have to understand that it depends how big is the vehicle. Because also you have to think, 20 feet from Jackson to Park Street, Jackson to Park Street, and then you have 20 feet from Berkeley to Park Street.
Point of information, no, obligado.
And she took care of that because
the way,
automatically that's supposed to
Through you,
be
Madam Chair.
taken care of.
That information,
excuse me?
information that you are referring to is to item 24817. We have a different item today.
Excuse
This
me?
is the information that you're referring to is for item 24817.
Yes.
This is a different topic. We're not discussing that topic tonight.
No, we are talking about the same thing because you guys are talking about to residential parking, to remove our parking. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, because on the last one, you guys were asking,
Through you,
this
Madam
is what
Chair.
you guys wanted.
have
When
the floor.
Milagros, when I spoke to Milagros, I talked to her and she was very sweet
I have
about
the
it.
floor or no?
I asked her
do
if
have
she...
the
We're gonna lose the quorum.
See?
I do have the floor, please.
Okay, I just would like to finish. That's how come.
I'm sorry, can I say something?
Sure.
You
I do
guys
have-
gave the other party a chance and opportunity
Yes,
to
but
talk,
I-
but you keep overstepping. We're just trying to get to the point. We're getting to the point. We understand you guys know the whole story for 2 years.
Yes.
We're trying to hurry up. We are trying to
I have the
hurry up
floor?
here. But
He's just trying to give information, point or information.
But we just want us to finish.
Yeah,
Then
'cause we
we'll
didn't
be
get the
more than
opportunity last
happy
time.
to hear him out. The same way we had to finish hearing him out. The other thing that I just wanted to say is Milagros ended up coming back. She did measure, and she realized, my husband and I, we have a vehicle that is a F-150. That's a good size, big pickup truck. Also, my brother-in-law, Carlos Candelario, has a pickup truck. What size is yours?
About the same size.
The same size. Then his wife also has a good size van. Then the neighbor who lives on 3 Park Street, she wasn't able to be here tonight, that she wanted to be here tonight, but she had other commitments. This was in the last minute that we had to inform her. She has a, we call it the soccer mom van. It's a big van. Then we also have our neighbor, Edwin. How many cars, Edwin, how many cars you have? Let them know.
We have 3 in the second floor. This is my son, my 2 sons, and my daughter. She lives down in the first floor, and she have 1 car.
And then your wife?
And my wife, yeah, we have a. But when I come from work at 3:30, I have to park outside because I gotta wait for my wife to come in because I leave early in the morning, and I park my after, so I have to park outside. And then, while we're talking about parking, the people, from Jackson Street.
You should be more professional.
You say Gabo.
I would not.
You should be more professional.
Don't talk to him.
Listen, you just need to speak, you just need to speak to us. When the other party was talking, you was talking in the back, and I have also to tell them to speak into us. Don't listen to them and just continue talking to us.
And then from Jackson Street, if they take away the permit parking, they're gonna park from there, and the people from Berkeley Street, then I use that corner right there for my other people's cars.
To what?
For other people's cars. For my other person.
It's tenants.
Yeah, my tenants, yeah. So my daughter
people
used
that live
one.
there?
Huh?
For people that live there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my 2 sons, they live with me in the second floor. My daughter lives in the first floor. She's renting it right there. And they have cars. They use those 3 spots to park their car.
Okay.
If they allow, they take away the permit.
What's
People
your
from
address?
Berkeley
What's the
Street.
address that you have? What's the
A
address?
6 Park. It's a 2-family. And then people from Berkeley Street, they're gonna park right there. That's thing that don't happen right now because the permit sign right there. That's all.
Okay, anyone else that wanted?
Yeah, I just want to add that the neighbors, they have parking for 6 cars. They have a 3-car garage, 1 bay is 2 cars deep, that's 4. They park 2 cars in front of the garage, that's 6. Across the street, the dentist, they park cars there overnight, all the time. So it's like they want 4 spots. We can only fit maybe 6 cars on our street, and they want 4 spots. Where are we going to park? Who's being selfish? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. In the wintertime, we've had issues where their tenants wouldn't move their vehicles, so our street never got plowed. I had to take time out of work.
Okay.
So
And your address is?
12 Park Street.
12. Okay. Councilor,
How many vehicles do you guys have?
Excuse me?
How many vehicles do you guys have?
I have 4. I have a company vehicle. I have a car in the garage.
Company registered under your address?
Excuse me?
Is the company registered under your address?
No, I can't park it outside. It has to park inside. It's registered under my company's name.
so you parking inside of your driveway?
Yes, because I
So
can't
that
park.
is never on the street?
No, I can't
Okay.
because it's sticker parking. I follow the rules.
So and then you have, other than that company's vehicle, how many other vehicles? do
I
you
have, in my house, there's 4 vehicles. We share a driveway, a common driveway, me and my brother. He's got 3 vehicles himself. So it's like, there's probably parking for 6 spots on the street. They want 4. Where are we going to park? That's the argument here. So why take the sticker parking away, punish us, and cause issues between the neighbors, with them? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Okay, Councilor.
Also, Christ.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I'll make it short.
Councilor Maldonado has a question.
You read something from an article there indicating, you mentioned about vehicles with plates from other states. Is that what you read? You read that
I'm sorry, what
that the
was that?
resident parking stickers, the only people that are entitled to park there
Yes,
are people
when
who
I informed that,
registered in
I could
Massachusetts.
show you that right now. And I just submitted that to everybody also. This is what we ended up getting for you, show.
Okay.
That part of the residential.
I understood what you read.
Yeah.
My question is the following. Why did you read that? Are vehicles from other states with other,
No, the reason that we ended up reading that because we stated that Lawrence has to have some type of law. Also, that after that the city council or the committee decides to place a rules or policy, there has to be, or ordinance, there has to be a law behind that. Because if you guys come up with something and then decide that no one's going to follow it, then it's not even worth it to even bother coming up with anything.
okay, but if I understand what you read, what you are saying is that in order to have residence parking sticker, you must be registered in Massachusetts, and you must
Correct.
give out
Not
the
a
address.
specific address, not a specific street.
And-
That's what she read.
Yeah.
So you have to have the address identified for that particular street.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Do you see any vehicles with plates from other states?
In the beginning, when we first decided to come here on the year 2015, yes, we did. We have vehicles that was parked out there from New Hampshire, from Pennsylvania, Maine, and we knew very well why quite a few of them was parked out there for. But that's how come we had to eventually do something about it.
Okay. I know that, in my opinion, removing the resident parking sticker is not a solution, because then you're not going to have it, they're not going to have it. You guys, none of you are going to be able to enjoy
Correct.
the benefit. So we need to find a solution, a reasonable solution, where you guys will be able to park and provide some parking to them. How many? We don't know. I think requesting 4 parking spaces, it seems to me totally unreasonable, but that's something that we need to consider. We requested information from the city engineer
Yes, you did.
and the police department. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen any report from them.
Okay. I know she did send in the report. She said that so
The
far there's
folder?
only 7 cars able to park out there. She first thought 8. I'm sorry, I think I'm kind of too loud. But then she eventually said 7 cars because the reason is when she came down, she measured and she did realize that in our street, quite a few of our neighbors and all that, we do have a good-sized cars. We don't have the small cars, as I call it, the clown cars, that you could fit it anywhere. So we have to be very careful with that.
I think we are ready for Councilor Maldonado.
Before anything, the only thing I just want to honestly say to our neighbors, I know very well they probably think that we have anything against them and that we don't want them living there. First of all, we have nothing against them. It's nothing about them not living there. We're not saying for them to move out or to live somewhere else. The only thing we're saying is the same rights that they have, that they came here, we did the same thing, and we did it in the year 2015. And again, we do apologize if they felt any offense, any form of way that they were not invited, because we didn't know either. That's all we want to say. We just want peace with
Okay.
everybody.
That is so nice of you. So since you say that, are you willing then to be part of resident parking?
No, right now, the only thing I just want it to be is only residential parking only, because again, we only have so much parking. The other thing is, it's like what Mr. Rodriguez have stated and Mr. Maldonado have stated last time. If we allow that the residential parking only be removed, guess what? We're not going to find no parking at all. They're not going to find no parking at all. No matter what they say, they're not going to find parking at all unless they don't work, and then they'll park it out there all day. But if they work, they're not going to find parking at all. And the street is going to be too crowded. It's a small street.
Say something real quick. And we're not like, they move cars out of their garage and they park on the street. No problem. I understand you have to move cars out. I don't call the
Police.
whatever it is, the ticket people. They come themselves, okay? If they have tickets, it's because they're parking there and they're not supposed to be. We don't call nobody. They come themselves. So if they need to park to drop people off, 10 minutes,
we're not going to complain about it, but most of the time they go in there and they're out there for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. When I go to work in the morning, they park on Jackson Street, leave the doors wide open. People have to drive around them so they can drop off kids to daycare. I swear to God. That's the honest truth.
Councilor Maldonado, I think we hear enough.
Yes.
Does anyone has any questions to ask us?
Have you seen this report from the city engineer? Have you seen this report?
From who?
You have seen this report?
Yes, I have seen the measurement of, to do with the engineer. Also, I have seen it also from the police department. And I hope I'm saying his name right, Officer Scallion, is it?
Scanlon.
Scanlon, Officer Scanlon. It sounds the same thing that he said in the year 2015. He even says it himself. That should be residential parking only.
Okay. According to the city engineer, Milagros Puello, she says that 8 vehicles can be accommodated on that side.
No, first she said 8 and she changed it to 7.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Relax.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Rodriguez, it was just a miss, okay?
Okay. This, according to this report, the city engineer is saying that there are 8 parking spaces, and they are saying that the standard size of 8 feet wide and 20 feet long. So they're saying that 8 vehicles can be accommodated. This is taking into account that 40 feet, 20 on each side, have to be removed.
Correct.
Now, if 8 vehicles can be parked, based according to the city engineer, if 8 vehicles can be parked, the question is reasonably, how many parking should we be able to allocate? How many houses are there?
There's 4.
4 houses.
Yes.
Okay. How many parking spaces can we allocate to the 4 houses reasonably, and how many parking spaces can we allocate to that one particular house on Jackson Street? Obviously, 4 parking spaces would be totally impossible because it would take half
Correct.
of the parking space
Correct.
for one single property, and then it will leave 1 parking space for each of the 4 properties. So that would be totally unreasonable.
And the only thing is also, I'm sorry, Maldonado.
So my point is that we need to find a solution. I don't believe that removing the residence parking is a solution, because then nobody's going to enjoy the benefit
Correct.
of parking there, okay? But definitely, I believe that we should be able to find a reasonable solution where we can allocate some parking, not 4, okay, to the property on Jackson Street, and at the same time that all the other 4 properties on Park Street can enjoy the benefit of the residence parking requirement. How many parking spaces do you guys feel that you can reasonably deal with so that we can allocate some parking space to the people on Jackson Street? How many parking spaces do you feel that it would be reasonable for you guys for the 4 properties?
For us, for 4 property, I could inform you right now. And we're talking about number 3. We're going to follow by the numbers. Number 3 have 2 cars. They have 1 in the small parking lot.
But it's how many?
I know, I'm just figuring out. So they have 2, okay, 1 in the parking lot, so let's say 1. We put 1 for her outside. But how about when he decides he wants to park it outside, his car also? That's 2 cars, you know? And, all right, so let's say 2,
Okay,
5, 6, 7, it's gonna be 8. 8 to 9.
There's no question that we're not going to be able to meet 100%.
No.
We're not going to be able to meet that.
No.
The 100% need. So what we are trying to do is to find a reasonable solution so that we don't have to remove the ordinance, okay? And at the same time, satisfy you guys and also satisfy partially the people on Jackson Street. Let me ask you a question, okay? And again, I'm throwing this out, okay? If we allocate 6 parking spaces for 4 properties and provide 2 parking spaces for Jackson Street. Are you guys able to deal with that?
No.
No. Okay, so we have to,
Can I explain something?
So it's 0 cars
listen.
for the people in Jackson Street. No cars for the people in Jackson Street.
No.
No, on Berkeley Street,
Okay.
okay? Can I explain something?
Just one more to speak, because we need
one
to
more, quick.
respect all the people who are here. I mean, it's not fair. This is not the first time
okay,
we've
yeah,
been
yeah.
coming back and
We
forth.
understand too, it's
Yeah,
not
so,
fair.
Okay, just
yeah,
let's finish
so,
this, okay?
right,
Let's
so
finish this
what
right
we are gonna do is, we're gonna make a decision. I'm just gonna give you the opportunity to speak, but you're gonna be the last one, and we have to make a decision.
Yeah, okay, so let me explain this quick. Front of my house, 6 park, there's only 3 space, plus, if you park close to the corner, it's 20 feet, so sometimes you don't have that, and then in front of the 12 or 10, there's one space right there. The other 3, you have to count, the other 20 feet, you have to take it away from that area. So there's 3 more space. So that means 7 cars fit there, not 8. Tight.
So, Councilor, what is the
That-
decision that we,
That's
since
what I'm
we
gonna
have all the documents?
Send it to the full council with no recommendation.
You want to do that?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to send it to the full council with no recommendation.
But no recommendation, okay. Motion has been made, properly second, all
Just
in favor?
discussion.
Second with discussion.
The residence sticker parking was introduced, was it last year, 2016? When was it approved?
2015.
Right here. Is it okay if I go like that?
Yes.
Ms. Maldonado?
Yep.
Este es el último item mío de aquí. Este es el último item mío de aquí.
Excuse me.
2015? Okay.
Okay, so we're just going to send it with no recommendation, so, so motion has been made, properly second, all's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you for being here. So
This
you also need
This
to
has
come
been
back.
sent to the,
Oh,
may I, Madam Chair, I'm sorry.
She's gonna
yeah,
clarify, she's
I'm
gonna
just gonna
clarify it.
clarify to them,
Okay,
so.
go ahead.
It has been sent out with no recommendation, which is being that we're gonna be open a discussion at the full city council level, which everybody's gonna have opportunity, the one that are not present. You need to come back, both you and the resident for Jackson Street. You need to come back for our next city council meeting, which is gonna be September 5th at 7 o'clock.
Madam Chair,
Yeah,
point of,
yeah, Councilor President.
remember that on the 5th, it will be a committee report that will be submitted. No action by the city council will be taken.
Yes, I'm
To
sorry,
order
yeah.
a public hearing for
Sorry,
the
it's
19th.
been sent out with no recommendation, yes. We're gonna be taking as a committee report.
So
No discussion.
No vote to approve or
Go
deny
vo-
will be taken.
Yeah,
And then we're gonna order the public hearing
and
at
then
that
we're
moment.
gonna order public hearing,
Which
whatever,
means,
whatever we decided to do at that level.
which means that we're not gonna discuss the item on the 5th, because if we order a public hearing,
Yeah.
it's gonna be during the public hearing.
Yes, which is gonna be 2
2
weeks.
weeks later.
2
on the
weeks
So for
19th.
both parties to understand, this is the process in order for us to be able to move on any item, not this in particular, but any items that the city council takes action on. You will have to first send it up to the full council to determine whether a public hearing will be ordered or not. What will happen on the 5th is that a committee report will be either accepted or denied. We will have to hear the recommendation, the no recommendation made by the committee, by the council chair of the committee. There, the council will then order a public hearing for the following full council meeting, which will
Which
be
is gonna be 2 weeks, the 19th.
2 weeks after that, on the 19th, I believe.
So that is gonna be when we're gonna open a discussion,
So that's when the
yes.
discussion will actually
Yes,
happen again.
and thank you for the correction. Yes, that was,
Madam
that was
Chair,
an information.
for the record, I have to agree with Mrs. Candelario to the fact that they were not notified.
Yeah, but they're gonna be,
Because there were residents that were going to be affected by a change,
right,
they should have been notified in writing.
they are going to.
Obviously, they were not. So
Yep.
it is important that we understand her complaint about that because they should have been notified.
Again, Madam Chair, I would like to point out, this is not a public hearing.
Right.
For every meeting,
It doesn't matter whether it's public hearing or
Yeah,
not.
but
The
that's,
point is,
whenever
based
they
on,
need to come back, they're
whenever
gonna
it
be
was,
here.
somebody's going to be affected,
Yeah,
they should have been notified.
no, it's not a public hearing. We notify for every public hearing. When it's not a public hearing, Councilor Maldonado, you're a former council president, you understand the process.
Again,
The process does not say that we have to
I
notify.
respectfully disagree.
As council
Mr.
president, that's how you did it when you were council
Respectfully
president
disagree
before.
with you.
okay.
Nothing
It should have
different
been
has
Okay,
happened.
so the motion is, okay, thank you for all being here. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Councilor, can I get a motion to take document 240 and 24017 and 241 as a block and at a table?
240, 241, so
At a
move,
table and out of,
so move.
Second.
all's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilor
Council
President.
President. Council President.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Kendris Vasquez, City Council President for the City of Lawrence, 681 Lowell Street. Which document in particular would you like to discuss first?
Okay, Councilor Rodriguez have to step out.
No,
and
but I mean, yeah,
you wanna-
he can continue with the item.
Okay.
Okay. Which document do you have?
The 240 and 241, I took it as a block to take it out of table.
So we have 240. 240 is a
he don't
parking
have
permit at
240
Canal
and
Street.
241,
Yeah, nothing to do with this one. 240 and 241.
240, 241?
yeah.
Yeah. So document 240 is a parking permit at Canal Street by Joel Herrera, and document 24117 is a loading zone at Mill Street by also Joel Herrera. The petitioner is here before us, and what he wishes to do is to be able to allow parking on Canal Street. Currently, there's no parking at all, and any residents or patrons that attend his business will get ticketed or towed, and are constantly getting towed. Just to give you familiarity with the area, this is where the Federal Immigration Building is located. He has approached the Federal Immigration officers, and in the vicinity of the building, no parking is allowed. However, in the street over, in the crossing the street, parking should be allowed. We have discussed this with the state delegation. This has been addressed as well with our police department, and there's no actual concerns of parking there for the residents. The street is wide enough, and Mr. Herrera is here with us if you have any specific questions to him. The second document, which is loading zone, is issue read 2 Mill Street, is to be able to allow his patrons. The business offers a venue for people to host weddings, baby showers, community events. And what will happen is that if you're hosting an event there, you're not allowed to unload or load any of the supplies that you're bringing into the building in front of the building. And he is requesting to be given access to have a loading zone in front of the building at 2 Mill Street, simply for, literally taking anything out of vehicles, bringing it upstairs, and moving the vehicle right after. So Ms. Herrera will be available to answer questions
Yes.
if necessary.
Thank you, Councilor President. I think the applicants got in contact with the state. Am I correct with that? After Officer Scanlon's recommendation saying that was a federal building and is not allowed, he got in touch with the state, and he also has approved of the answer that the state, his recommendation was like if you're gonna be parking on the same side of the building, which is not what they looking here.
They're
They are
looking for the other
parking in
side.
the other side, not even
Canal Street,
close
on the canal
to
side.
the building. So that is why we made them come today and just to speak, because they have a new information. It's not that we want to vote. Officer Scanlon's recommendation was like, since it was a state building, we had some kind of regulations. So,
Yes, we just, my
Name
name is
and
Joel
address for
Herrera.
the record.
Yes, Joel Herrera, and his Adonis Rodriguez, we the owners of Attica Restaurant. We've been asking for the customer being allowed to park at the right side of the Canal Street, across of the immigration building. And we also want a parking in front of our building, our space, because it was good before 5 months ago to park there, and then from one time to the other, it just like 25 no parking sign. From that time, our customer is being told, getting tickets, and the business is suffering, like 70% of the revenue is going down. And we have almost 35 employees that are gonna suffer because we doesn't have parking lot to our customer right now. So we've been we're not asking to park in the further building. We want across. And I don't know if you guys don't notice that in Methuen Street, the other side, they allow the people parking from 7 to 3 a.m. And we don't even ask for parking at the right side of the building. We just are across.
When you say the right side, you're referring to the federal building.
Yeah, we asking for the parking of the riverside. And we asking for the parking of our side. It's gonna be from Methuen to Canal Street is gonna be the right side. That's gonna be our side, not the federal building side.
Well, my name is Adonis. I think he's trying to explain that we were told that you're not allowed to park around the federal building, but in this case, persons are allowed to park in one side of the federal building, but not in the other, the other side that affect us really, really, really bad. And some people may think that why are you asking to have permission to park in a building that is not, in this case, our building, but I used to be a customer of Attica before, and I've been coming here since 2011, something like that, and all the customers were allowed to park there. I've heard that there's something that prohibit person to park there, but they don't have signs. They never had signs in the site that we have now. And that's all we're asking for, like
Since you became an owner of the Attica,
Yeah.
have you seen anyone parking on the side of the federal building or not?
Well, at first, yes. I've been here since September, and we didn't have problem with that. But as we were told that you're not supposed to park that side, even though they allow people to park in the other side, like around them. We were trying then to have parking, to let customer parking like in front of the building, not like in the same side, but in the other. I don't know too well. The Lawrence is the one
Side of the canal.
in the right side of Canal. We're asking for it.
Okay, Councilor. Okay, so.
Councilors, I would like to make a motion to,
You have a question?
do you have a question?
You mentioned that right now there is parking on the opposite side of the Immigration Department on Methuen Street.
Yeah, in Methuen Street, you can park right now from 7 to 3 a.m.
7 in the morning to,
No, 7 in the night to 3 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, and the recommendation of Officer Scanlon is what?
That since it is a federal building, it's not allowed to parking near to the building, but they're not looking to be
Well,
parking
they're
at
not
the
looking,
side.
exactly. So
They know.
if parking is already allowed on Methuen Street opposite the side of Immigration, I don't see why we cannot allow parking opposite the side on Canal Street.
Yeah, but that's basically why
But
they
I
are
asked
That's what they're requesting.
Yeah.
For
So that-
item 240, hold on. For item 240, I would like to make a motion to send it to the full council. Well,
Hold on, Councilor Rodriguez.
No.
Okay,
No, we talk about the same thing.
yeah.
So I would like to send it to the full council to allow parking on the east side of Canal Street, which is the canal side.
That's document 2A.
to order a public hearing.
Yes, that's between 1 Mill to Union at the right side. And we also asking for the, between Methuen and the Canal Street from the right side, or part of the building, across the federal building.
And the on the limit will be from Mill Street to Union Street.
To Union Street, yeah.
And that will be the same time from 7 to 3 a.m.?
It could be, if they allow Methuen Street to park on those hours,
The same hours?
yes.
Okay.
We have a motion on the floor. Councilor LaPlante wants to.
Can you repeat the motion?
To send it to the full council to allow parking on the canal side and the limits are from
Councilor
Mill Street
LaPlante
to
wants to
Union
speak on
Street.
behalf.
To order a public hearing, right? To order a public hearing, we need to order.
You should also state that the same time as Methuen Street, 7 to
To 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
And the limit are from Mill Street to Union Street.
Mill to Union.
So parking on the east side.
Councilor LaPlante wants to.
So I second the motion, yeah.
Discussion.
Second with discussion.
Hi, my name is Mark LaPlante. I'm a city council. I actually represent this area. This is part of my district. Was there a police report on this particular
Yes.
issue? And what did if you don't mind me asking, what did the police report say?
That on the side of that federal building is not allowed because it's prohibited by law.
But they would allow, as you're suggesting this evening, that on the south side of the canal, that would be, on south side of Canal Street, the parking would be there. The only thing I would just be concerned about a little bit is that if you put another layer of cars there during that time, you are adding a layer of congestion in that. It's not narrow, but it's a normal-sized street. But if you're going to allow cars that are not parked there right now, you are going to significantly reduce the amount of ability to go on that street. That's the one thing, before we put that in there, I just want to make sure, and maybe that's an engineering question. This is a perfect engineering question. How does the traffic flow based on the fact that we're going to have, because they're going to have a very successful business. And I know there's going to be a lot of people parking along there. And so that's the question that I would have, just to make sure that is.
I went down there and I measured it. I'm just looking for the info.
You have a card, this one, on you guys?
So give me 1 second. You guys can keep on talking.
Do you have a card?
So no, he said that he measured and he has that information. He doesn't have it in front of you.
Okay.
I mean, in front of him, but he can provide it to you.
Yeah.
If you wish to have that information.
What I would request this committee to do is to have some sort of report at the full council. I don't want to keep it here.
Right.
But at the full council level, and just have the engineer provide that information so all of us can see that and make sure that we're working with some confidence on it.
Once we vote on the motion, and then I can make another motion to request the width of the street.
Just a comment. From 7 at night, there's very little traffic during the day.
Right.
So at night, there's even less. The only traffic that you see in the morning are the ones going to the court. Okay, so in the evening, there's barely any traffic.
And if that's in fact the case, Counselor, that's going to be good. The last thing I want is to get sniping at the end. How could you, I can imagine this phone call. What were you thinking when you voted in favor of this thing? Because a narrow street, you allowed this parking to go through, and now we can't get through. I just want to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. That way, when that call does happen, we say we did all the work we could. That's all.
We understand and we appreciate it. The motion has been made, properly second. All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have
By
it.
the way, the width of that street is 35 feet.
Okay.
What was that?
The width of the street is 35 feet, so I think it's enough.
Okay. So what do you wish to do with the next document?
Is to order a public hearing.
Yeah, we made the motion to order public
So
hearing.
item 241, so
Yeah.
you call that item?
Yeah, so document 24117 is a loading zone Mill Street.
So loading zone in front of 2 Mill Street, right?
In front.
It's a 1 Mill Street.
One
One
Mill.
Mill.
One Mill Street.
Okay.
So,
The motion is,
so same motion to send
order
it to the full council with a final recommendation to order a public hearing.
Second.
motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Let me just go back to the agenda.
No, no.
Kendrick lo hace todo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, can I please
Mark is here, he wants to speak on behalf of one item. He asked us first.
Giovanni, la gente se tiene. Can I please get a motion to take document 27717 out of order and out of table?
You're the one that has-
Can I get a motion to take document 277-17 out of table and out of order?
So move.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 277 is a Walnut Street one-way from Irving Avenue to Park Street that has been put in the agenda by Councilor Basque.
Madam Chair, I have residents here that have petitioned to make Walnut Street a one-way. We also received a report from the police department as well as the city engineer. Both reports are in favor, and I request that you respectfully that you send this up to the full council with a favorable recommendation to order a public hearing. Residents are here in case you have any questions, but the reports speak for themselves.
Motion to send it to the full council to order a public hearing.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Can I please get a motion to take document 23217 out of table and out of order?
Can I get a motion to take document 232 out of table and out of order? Second page.
Oh, second the motion. So move on the motion, yes.
232.
232, the Railroad Street one-way that you propose.
So, did you second?
Yes.
All's in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 232 is a Railroad Street one-way from Haverhill Street to Main Street. It has been put on agenda by Councilor Maldonado.
Maldonado, you want to withdraw the item?
I haven't seen the recommendation of Officer Scanlon. Do you have the recommendation?
No.
Huh?
We don't have that recommendation yet.
Councilor,
Then I'd rather that we wait until there is a
Councilor
recommendation.
President.
Yeah, we have a resident who approached me in regards to this document, and she wishes to speak on the item. She's here. Please identify yourself with the name and address for the record.
Let me, Madam Chair.
Yes.
With your permission. The reason why I placed this in the agenda is because residents on that street approached me that there was a problem of several accidents on the intersection of Railroad and May Street, and that they were looking for a solution.
So there is a current stop sign there?
Huh?
There is a current stop sign there?
I don't believe that there is a stop sign there.
Do you want to change the item for?
Oh, we don't know yet. That's why we ask, because turning the whole thing into a one-way was going to create problems for the charter school, and it was going to create problems also for the trucking company that is there.
And the resident, because it's 0.8 miles, it's 0.4 miles road, and they're going to race and everything. That's the concern.
And that's why, yes, and that's why we wanted the Officer Scanlon to give us some feedback as to what actions can be taken to try to deal with the problem of the accidents on that intersection of Railroad and May Street.
So, Councilman Maldonado, would you like to change the item to looking for a solution of the traffic issue and not proposing a one-way? Because once Scanlon goes over there, he's going to be looking for the item, because you asked him specifically to see whether or not that street could be one way or not. So we're not going to get a solution for the traffic issue.
Okay.
We're just going to get of what you're asking.
What we should do is then have Officer Scanlon get in touch with me and a couple of other residents that are there to make sure that he understands what the...
If we get in touch with you and a couple of residents, he's going to have to get in touch with you and every other resident of the area. Because Sarah is here, Sarah Saldana, thank you for being here, and she's concerned about that. So everybody going to have to go into one room and have a meeting, and that's going to be another situation.
Madam Chair.
So why don't we look for, why don't we look for a solution of the traffic issue we have in the area? That could be a stop sign, it could be a one-way solution, or it could be any other particular solution.
One-way solution or any other solution that may resolve the problem.
because, I mean, we just need to make it broad. I'm pretty sure that residents are concerned of that intersection.
Well, we don't give opportunity to Mrs. Aldana just to speak on behalf, and that way she added into.
Yeah, Madam Chair, before the resident speaks, I would like to point out that there is a report in your files that has been submitted by Officer Scallon. And Officer Scallon is advising that the street is wide enough for two-way traffic.
Yes.
Yes, we got that report.
I know,
We have
I
that
heard
report.
earlier that no report had been
We
submitted.
have that report.
Yeah, the report is
Okay.
on file.
Okay.
My name is Sarah Saldana. I live at 57 Railroad Street. I'm a homeowner for the past 27 years, and I've been living there. I have seen a lot going on. In the last 6 months, I think I have sent Councilor Kendrick accidents that have happened right in front of us, and 2 of them were stolen cars, but the third one, the neighbor was able to catch him, and they got arrested. The point is that that street is a 20-mile street. These people in the street, they have like a road race. They zoom down that street. It's so bad that our kids cannot even ride their bikes on the sidewalks because we're afraid of them getting hit. We have the noise is so loud when they come down those streets that is very annoying. We can even hear our own TVs. Okay, my concern is that if we put this into a one-way, there's going to be more road rage because they know that the police is not going to go through Main Street. It's going to go through Haver Street. They run down Haver Street into Main Street, straight down the street, and it's very, very dangerous for us homeowners. Another thing is that I'm concerned is not just that we have those one-way. In the wintertime, it's hard for these residents to even park their cars because of the snowbanks. So if we're going to having a one-way street, and when the snow there, this is going to be more chaos out there in that street. Okay. And I have a lot of concerns, and if I have to get signatures from the people from that street, I will go and get it, because I know I'll get them.
Thank you, Sarah. I would like to make a motion to send it to the full council for withdrawal.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
De Airan de hombre, ven. El de Panhandlers. Ah, míralo aquí. 19517.
Can I get a motion to take document 19517 out of table and out of order?
Second. So move.
195.
195.
Second page. Second page.
The second page.
Council President, Councilor LaPlante is outside. He's going to be talking on behalf of this item. Councilor LaPlante, he's outside.
Oh, okay.
Can you tell him to come?
19517, yeah.
Come over.
Okay. Okay, the motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 19517 is a permit requirement for individual who's soliciting money on public way. As has been put in the agenda by Councilor Vice President Mark LaPlante.
Good evening. I'm just asking this, I think we had a robust debate at the last ordinance committee meeting, and so I had a chance this evening to talk to Attorney Charles Body while you were deliberating on some other matters. And he has let me know that the person at the Attorney General's office was on vacation for a couple of weeks, but returned yesterday, and asked her to go ahead and to provide, as the committee requested, some sort of preliminary opinion. And so I suspect that that will happen. As you know, councilors, there's a 2 more step process. If it comes out of here, it's going to have to be order a public hearing, and then it's going to have to be a public hearing. So we're looking at 2 meetings. We're looking at the end of September before we even have a final vote on this. My hope is that the people that we represent really would like to see some sort of relief on this, and I do understand the committee's concern regarding the legality, the constitutionality of it, but I think that we can get that answers without having to stay here. Meanwhile, we can provide our residents and our folks back that we represent some relief on that.
Through you, Madam Chair.
Councilor Rodriguez.
What is the recommendation that I ask for from him, from the attorney of the city of Lawrence, not the attorney general, the legal department from the city of Lawrence. What is that recommendation? He was here.
Yes,
But he
sir.
didn't send it. You see, the delay is not because somebody was on vacation. The delay is because the process is broken and we gotta fix it. That's the problem. It's frustrating that we have to do work here at this level, waiting for recommendation from different departments, and they take this as a joke. This is a serious question. This is a serious ordinance. It is a possible violation of people's right. It's not because I don't want to send it over to the full council without recommendation and wait for the process. It's because we as a city got to make sure that we're protecting our citizens and protect the city by itself. So it's frustrating that we're not sending this document, so important document that I'm supporting, as a matter of fact, if we are clear. But we just need to get what we have, and we just need to do the work at this level, like in the way that it's supposed to do. Charles Body should send a recommendation from his office to this body. And it was 2 weeks that we were here, and he didn't send it. It is frustrating. I understand. Somebody from Boston, from the Attorney General, is on vacation. Yes, but what about his recommendation? Because we're asking for his recommendation on writing as a memo here, not an email format, as a memo, official memo from him to put it on the record. He didn't send that. Nobody want to take responsibility. That's the problem. And I understand that we're going to have to wait for another 2 weeks, but why? If we at least have his recommendation, we can move forward with this, pending the other recommendation from the Attorney General, but we don't even have his. If he was on vacation for 2 weeks, he was not. He was here. Why we don't have his? It's frustrating. I understand your frustration too. And trust me, I'm supporting the document, but I want to make sure that we move forward with on the proper way. I don't know what to tell you. I want to support it. I want to be able to say, yes, we good with this document. We're going to solve many issues that is going to go, away just because we took advantage of this ordinance and we're enforcing it. Yes, I want that, and I'm with you. But do you think that we should move forward with something that I asked for 2 recommendations, and 2 weeks later we don't have any? I don't know.
Was that a question?
I think we had the document, and I think a council president is going to provide that.
Good evening again, Council
Yes.
President Vasquez. Today, I received a call from our confidential secretary that there were some documents submitted earlier today from the Office of the City Attorney in regards to this particular document.
today?
Yes.
what
However, I'm not aware. She was not specifically told that the information was for the Ordinance Committee. She was told that this was for the City Council. So as a result of that, it was not included in your packet of information. But the document is here.
Give it to him.
Yeah, I'll get a copy. I haven't reviewed myself.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council President.
Okay, this is like a book or what? This is a recommendation?
I just got it.
This is a joke? That's his recommendation according to because we're asking specifically for one particular item of the ordinance. This is his legal recommendation of that specific item.
Could I interrupt for a moment?
Sure.
Yes, sure you can.
So I talked to the city attorney, like I said, this evening. He told me tonight that he will be providing for this committee an opinion. He apologized to me, frankly, it should be to all of us, regarding not being able to get it done in a timely manner such as this. There are other issues that are the Gilmet School. He mentioned specifically as an issue that he's been spending a crazy amount of time on, and he explained that to me this evening. Having said that, he did promise to me this evening that he was going to get something to me, if not tomorrow, which is Friday, by next Tuesday. And so I do think the committee will have its opinion. We already know what the opinion is going to be. It's not a surprise. He supports this. He's already verbally said it. So what we're going to be getting is nothing going to be different, but it's just going to have some more information to it. So with regard to that, again, I believe the concerns are going to be alleviated. You're going to have it. And let me just add this. If you do send this up tonight, and I still hope that you do, if you're not getting everything that you want, especially from the city attorney, the AG's office is a little bit different, because I think that request is a far different request than anything we really have seen at this committee level when I've been on the council, and I've been the chair of this committee for a few years myself. And so this is an unusual request to get a preemptive opinion. Usually on something like this, the attorneys don't want to start giving opinions on everything, because we could have it not pass. If they got to make opinions on a lot of different ordinance proposals, that's all they're going to be doing. They want to see things go through first. And then you can certainly call them, you can get some advice, that kind of stuff you can do. But to add to that level, it gets a little more burdensome, I think, from the AG's office perspective. I don't want to speak for them, but that's my understanding.
Yes.
So, again, my recommendation, and I hope that you'll consider this strongly, is that get the opinion from the city attorney. You will get this. Please move it on forward. If we don't get what we're looking for, we all have the ability to say, you know something, this is inadequate, or I'm not satisfied, I don't feel comfortable. I think this is a great idea, but I just don't feel comfortable voting for it because of this reason. I can't support it, and that's fine. But I think we're going to get that information if you can just allow our residents. We're getting the process, maybe we need to loosen up the process a little bit. We're still going to get those answers, but not delay it so much. That's my request.
Okay. So can I get a motion to send the pending?
I'm sorry, what is the motion?
To send to the full? Yes, you do.
Again, I'm not a constitutional scholar by any stretch, but my experience in practical terms, along the lines of what the Council of the Plan has brought forward, we've had instances where we've dealt with peddlers who would require licenses but self-identify as a nonprofit. This happened actually, I believe, in his district. We had some people giving away free phones at the Transitional Assistance on Merrimack Street, and we insisted upon them being licensed, and they were not able to give away their product, even though they self-identified as a nonprofit. They had no documentation to support that as a 501c3. And we were able to put that to rest, that particular issue, out in front of that building on Merrimack Street. Again, that's my understanding it in practical terms. Again, I think what the council is, the point the council is trying to make is you're going to get into some very fine legal arguments, but I think on its face, it's not a gross violation of civil liberties. Again, I think the opportunity to discuss this further at the full council level may bear better fruit. Thank you.
Okay. So can I get a motion to send it to the full council?
Is that to order
Pending.
public hearing, Madam Chair?
No. We have no reports.
We can order public hearing, and in the meantime, we can wait for the report.
We can send it to the full council as with no recommendation pending those reports. And then we decide at that level whether or not we're going to send it to our public hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, I will make the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Councilman. Can I get a motion to take document 28417 out of order? Okay, Councilor President. You would like to take over Councilor Rodriguez has to.
Second item, Mayor. I would like to make a motion to send, to take item 298-17 out of.
I already called document 284. Do you want to speak on behalf of the documents that you want to take it out?
Yes,
What is the document?
298-17.
I'm sorry?
298-17.
Okay, 298. Can I get a motion to take document
So-
298-17 out of order?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 298-17 is removal of Lawrence Public Works site at Water Street and Marbles Avenue. Has been put in the agenda by Councilor Rodriguez.
Yes. This location, which is basically a substation of the DPW in Marble Ave, it's been there for years, and it's been a problem for a lot of the residents on the area. The current DPW director is working into finding a solution of this particular substation of the DPW to put all the waste, yard waste and all that. And currently, he's trying to find a better location because this is a gateway of the city. And people are doing a lot of illegal dumping there, and probably doing a lot more than just that. But let's leave it up to that point. I put this item on the agenda to remove that substation of the DPW and find a new place.
Okay.
And for that, I would like to make a motion to.
Before that, I just have a question for you.
Sure.
So I just want to make sure that I understood. That is the side that they have to dump all the,
The lead ways and all the yard waste of the city.
okay, so,
Currently located on Marble Ave and Water Street.
I cannot support a motion to remove that. I know there is a problem there, but I cannot support a motion to remove it until I hear.
No, I'm not making a motion to remove it.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Okay.
I
then
would like to make a motion to send this document to the DPW director and find a
Okay.
solution
and
of
find
the problem.
another,
I
yep,
say,
okay.
I second the
Jumping
motion.
So,
jumping in front of the
yeah,
Okay.
so the motion
I second the
has
motion.
been made to send correspond to DPW director to get an answer if he can get another site,
To come back, to come
Well,
here.
no, to,
or to come and try.
let me make the motion. The motion is to send correspondence to the DPW director to find a possible solution of the site and probably the removal of this site. So he's already working on this. I just want to make sure that we send something to him from here.
Okay.
That's the motion.
Motion has
second.
been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have a document to
I would like to make a motion to table item 298.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay? That's the one? Councilor President. We just need to excuse Councilor Rodriguez, who has to step out, but luckily, we have our Councilor President, who is allowed to stay as one of the members. Thank you, Councilor President. Always a pleasure to have you. Okay. Can I get a motion to take document 284-17 out of order?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Chief, you know that I always want to keep you longer, so.
I don't mind.
I'm only
I
gonna do
mean, I get
that
to-
because,
I get to sometimes help out
Okay.
with different things.
so, can you explain a little bit about what is going to be the two position?
So before you tonight on 284-17, for your consideration is the request to create two positions with the police department. One of the positions is actually a union position, so if it can be amended to one, if that's possible.
To be one?
One,
instead
yeah,
of
because
two.
the other, I do have a copy of the other position, but it will be a union position. So I've been advised by personnel that doesn't require ordinancing. If there's a difference of opinion, I will go forward with the two.
Wow, that's good.
I have a question, Madam Chair.
Councilor
Chief.
Maldonado.
Chief, Director of Community Liaison, why a master?
I think, again, this is a draft, this isn't a draft. I think a combination of maybe a bachelor's degree and some work-related experience would suffice. Again, you know, you prefer a master's in social work, not so much in public administration. Again, this is in a draft form.
Shows that I'm asking because the type of work that is being described here, I think requiring a master is excessive.
I could take that into consideration if you think a bachelor's degree would suffice.
I think so,
Okay.
too.
I mean, yeah, the type of work that is being described and the duties, seems to me that a master's degree will disqualify a lot of people that may have the qualifications and the community experience.
Understood.
So it seems to me that it should be changed rather than a master. It should be changed to a bachelor
Is a liaison,
in public administration.
department, and non-profit, partner, neighborhood, religion, school, and business. Yeah, I agree.
Do you feel comfortable with that? Changing
Yes,
the
sir.
master to a
Yeah, I think if, you know, I think we'd, because in addition to that is a minimum of 3 years' work experience. So I think a bachelor's with that many years of work experience would suffice.
Yeah, because I think the master will limit the number of people that will qualify for the position, which we might find a lot of people with a bachelor degree that have a lot of experience in working in community activism. So,
And the money they spend.
so if you agree,
So we can-
I would.
We can
definitely would.
recreate it, redo the draft.
So a bachelor or a BA.
Okay, any other question?
No, that's it.
Councilor President? No question? So what do you?
So I make the motion that we approve the duties and qualifications with just a change of a master to a bachelor of science, bachelor, a BS or a BA in public administration.
And we will rework the document for the council.
Okay,
Second discussion.
second with discussion.
I understand changing the degree level, we also will have to take into consideration changing the salary level, because as a result, the as you know, the grade for salary, it's also part of the education component, the experience.
Okay, what would be the comparable salary?
We will have to ask that question to our personnel director.
Okay.
So I think that,
I'm sorry, go ahead. I just, is it, yeah, that's why I had a question now, because again, I apologize, this is my first time ordinancing a position, so I'm not sure if there's generally a range that is put in that, I don't know.
yeah, so there's the salary range is determined based on a grade level that
Okay.
is assigned based on education, work experience, the responsibility within the job, which means that changing the level of education will in turn result in a change in salary, will also have to include and or change the level of experience necessary, because a person with a bachelor's degree should have a lot more exposure than someone with a master's degree to the field. I wouldn't feel comfortable with someone having a bachelor's and a 3-year work experience. I would suggest a bachelor's and 5-year work experience in the field,
I would feel
or
comfortable
a
with that.
master's degree.
I would feel comfortable with that.
So I think that, the recommendation, in addition to, the motion is to send it to the full council, we also should send it to the personal director.
Well, if we, obviously, we need to, we can send it to the full council pending a change in salary
If
recommendation
If
from
it's
the.
necessary, because,
Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
if it's necessary, if it's not changes, then, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can send a letter and then just to kind of, okay,
I will feel comfortable with a bachelor's degree and 5 years of work experience.
me too, yep, 5 years, yeah, no 3,
So
5.
it should be either or, so a master's degree or a bachelor's with 5 years of work experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so motion has been made, properly second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, it's having. Chief, I see 3 more documents that you have.
Yes, those are for a
So can I-
290,
290, 291, and 292. Can I get a motion to take document 290, 291, and 292 as a block?
So
and
move.
And as order? Out of order.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The first document is a disclosure of conflict for Michael Phillips.
So these three, at one at a time, the Michael Phillips has qualified as a,
I'm sorry, we didn't approve the senior clerk, which was the other one on document 28417.
Is 2,
Yeah, there are 2.
yeah, I asked earlier, and for your consideration, the second position
okay,
is, I've been advised by personnel that should be classified as a union position. Again, I can get clarification if need be. But I would ask that to be withdrawn and only put up as a one
position.
one
That's what
position.
he said, we approving only 1 position.
This one, so you want to table this here for now?
I think
What
it
he's
withdraw it.
considering is like, instead of 2 position, only 1 position, which is gonna be this one. The first one that we just approved.
So the 35, the senior clerk, you do not need that.
You don't want the senior clerks yet?
No, because my understanding from personnel is that that is a union, is actually a union position, would not
We
be,
do not need to
need to be
We don't need
ordinance.
to ordinance. Okay. Okay, so the document 290, Chief,
17, Michael Phillips.
9017, yeah, we are on that one.
Michael Phillips is qualified, has been sworn in as a special police officer. He is also an auxiliary in good standing for approximately 7 years. His disclosure is, conflict is that he's currently an employee of the Lawrence School Department as a security officer.
Okay. Okay,
I make a motion that we send it up to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
I'm going to second it for discussion. Let me look at it. Let me look at the whole thing first. Okay, Chief, you are saying that he works for the school department, but what kind of duties is he doing for the police department?
He currently, he will continue to work for the school department. He will work on a part-time basis as a special police officer, only working the road constructions sites.
Details?
Correct.
Is he an auxiliary police officer?
Yes, sir, in good
Okay.
standing.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, the motion is to send it with favorable recommendation.
Second.
Has been second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The next document is 29117, is also a disclosure of conflicts for Johnny Paredes.
Mr. Paredes is also similarly situated as an auxiliary police officer in good standing, and recently qualified and was sworn in as a special police officer. He also works for the
So it's the same situation?
school department, Lawrence School Department.
Make a motion to send it up to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The next document is 29217, is a disclosure of conflict for Adriana Ortiz. What is the conflict?
Ms. Ortiz, similarly situated as a auxiliary police officer, recently sworn in as a special police officer, will be working part-time. Her conflict is that she also works for the Lawrence Public Schools as a school security officer.
Oh, okay.
Make a motion to send it up to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Chief, do you have any other document?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for being here.
All right, thank you for your
It's a
consideration.
pressure too.
Have a good night.
Thank you, you as well.
Good night, Chief.
Okay, so we're just gonna go back to the top of the agenda. No, that's,
Yeah, okay.
document 27917 is a handicap.
Madam Chair, may I make a motion to take document 279, 280, 281, and 29317 as a block?
290.
I'm sorry, 293 and 297. So
90.
27917, 28017, 28117, 29317, and 29717 as a block.
Would you like to include 317?
And 300.
Oh, the 300? Yes, yes.
Can I hear a
And
second?
300.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes
Madam
have it.
Chair, I would like to make a motion that we send these documents to Officer Scanlon.
For recommendation?
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Cassandra, do you want me to repeat the documents? 279, 280, 281, 293, 297, and 300. Okay? So the next document is
29917.
291. Okay, the last document is document 29917, is a dedication of Railroad Street and Haver Street intersection in honor of Army veteran PFC Mariano Torre Miranda, and has been put in the agenda by our City Council President Vasquez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Document, as you mentioned, 29917 is to be able to dedicate that corner to a Lawrence veteran who has earned this because of his service to the United States. I have included a biography as part of the document, as well as his resume, and he provided us with a photograph of him serving the country. So I don't know if you want me to read the, since the biography is available for everyone.
Okay.
And I wish that the City Council will support this to honor one of our own veterans from the city of Lawrence.
Councilor Maldonado, the motion is to send
Is Mariano alive?
Yes, Mr. Torres is alive.
Because my understanding that and that's something that we need to probably request some information, that veterans naming a location after a veteran, that they have to be dead.
No, we recently, during this term, we've actually named for a couple of veterans that are alive, including former Councilor Roger Toomey. we named a corner after him.
That is true. That is true. Even though we did Toomey not because of being a veteran, but because of his service to the city. What other veterans have we done?
I don't recall.
Can we double check just to make sure, because I believe that maybe Mr. Melendez can give us some facts with that.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, so if we can get some information from him just to make sure, because I know that Roger told me we did it not because of his service in the Army, but more because of his service to the city. And I remember that there were some issues raised on his veteran status, if you recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we can get some feedback from...
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I make the motion that we request Mr. Melendez from the Veteran Service Office to provide with some feedback and what are the requirements and restrictions placed on veterans naming a place for living veterans.
Okay, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to table this document.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilor, can I get a motion to take document 248 out of table?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Councilor, we sent, at the last time we treated the document, we sent recommendation to our city engineer, which she has replied to us. And the document is, document 248 is the front street, no parking request for entering street, and has been put on the agenda by Councilor Abdul and Mayor Rivera. We have the recommendation for the city engineer, but I'm also see the inspection and the licensing, and I'm not quite sure why they request that in here. Her recommendation was early this month, I went out to measure Front Street. The road is about 20 wide at the Broadway Street entrance and becomes about 17 wide after bend to Andover Street. With the vehicle park, the street became even narrower. While I was measuring the road, some of the residents came out to express their concern regarding some people violating the one-way traffic on Front Street. They are one way and do not enter sign posted on the street. I agree with the Lawrence Police Officer's column recommendation to make Front Street no parking on either side from South Broadway into Andover Street. What I'm not understanding, why did we,
If you recall, Madam Chair, there were some residents on that street that expressed some concerns about doing that, and maybe what we should do is send communication to those individuals if they have some concerns that they can come and before we make a decision.
I think that is very smart decision. I don't want to continue sending stuff up and just to send it down and have that situation that we had today. I think before we send item to the full council.
So I make the motion that we send correspondence to the residents on that small street.
Right.
To come and express their opinion regarding the recommendation of Officer Scanlon. I make that in form of a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to table document 248-17.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
What was that street, please?
Front Street. Is any other
Yeah,
document?
Madam Chair, 15817 I would like to make a motion to take it out of table matters.
Give me 1 second.
158, second page, 15817,
150.
in middle of the
Yeah,
page.
right here.
I believe that,
Second.
thank you.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
I believe that Officer Scanlon, at the last, requesting more information, and what I would like to do is communicate with Officer Scanlon, because it's not in front of Raquel Market, it's on the side of Raquel Market. Raquel Market is located on the corner of, oh boy, what's the name of that street? But it's located on Lawrence Street, but they don't want the parking, the 15-minute parking on Lawrence Street, but they want it on the other side, on the other street, because the grocery store is located in a corner. So what I would like to do is speak to Officer Scanlon so that he can look at the other side rather than the front.
So, so are you gonna call him?
I'm going to call him, yes.
So
I'm
we're
going
gonna,
to do
we're
that.
gonna table the document until you
yes,
talk? Okay.
yes.
So can I get a motion to table document
So moved.
158?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Can I get a motion to take document 18917 out of table?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to send document 18917 to withdraw the document?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Any other documents that you wish to have?
Madam Chair, can we please get document 12217 out of table?
Motion,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Document 122 is the Loading Zone corner of Wyndham Street in Broadway. Councilor President?
Yes, Madam Chair, can we please, I'd like to make a motion to send correspondence to Officer Scanlon for this document to get a report.
Two requests.
A report from Officer
Oh,
Scanlon.
we haven't received it yet.
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, I second the motion.
Motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Motion to table document 122.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Any other document?
I make the motion to adjourn, Madam Chair.
One
Oh, you
more.
have one more?
Can I please get a motion to take document 6717 out of table?
67,
17,
It's which page?
page 2.
page 2.
Yeah.
67,
It's on 6517, I apologize.
okay,
Oh, 65,
65,
It's at the
okay.
bottom of the page.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Madam Chair, similar, I'd like to make a motion that we submit this to, send the correspondence to DPW for a report.
Let me, I think we started, we asked DPW Director Carlos Jaque to give us some feedback because we wanted to include, we left this intentionally, if you recall, Madam Chair. We left this intentionally untreated because we wanted to include many other streets in the city with the same type of situation. And he was going to give us some feedback regarding
The status, yeah.
regarding parking on only one side. And probably what we should do is send a correspondence to DPW Director, and I'm going to make that in form of motion, to come in front of us with information regarding the one-way, one-side parking, winter parking, and how it is treated in other, in another city or town.
Yeah. Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
He was supposed to get some information from, I believe, Somerville. I think Somerville was the one that was
Okay, before
using
we
this.
adjourn, we have to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Can I get a motion to approve the minute on July 27 meeting?
So move.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay, motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.